She was a widow, broken and blamed for a death she never caused. Her head was shaved, her dignity stolen, and her name dragged through the dust. In a village full of whispers and shadows, one truth could set her free, but at what cost? This is the story of a poor widow. In the quiet village of East Coast, where the golden sun kissed the cracked earth every morning, Nancy lived peacefully with her husband John. They were poor, but their laughter filled their tiny clay house like music from another world. Their bond was rare, a friendship deepened by love, strengthened by hardship. One morning, while the rooster crowed and smoke began to rise from distant kitchens, Oma found John lifeless by the mango tree. No scream could tear through the stillness that swallowed her heart whole. In a heartbeat, her world collapsed into dust. Before Nancy could even bury her beloved properly, the whispers began. They slithered through the village like snakes. She killed him, it was her food, she wanted his little land. Eyes that once smiled now turned cold. Men she once called brothers and women who once borrowed her salt now stepped away, whispering behind her back. The elders of the village called for a gathering under the ancient baobab tree, and Nancy was summoned. She wrapped herself in a faded cloth, heart pounding like thunder, but she had no idea that her soul was about to be torn apart. Under the ancient tree, with the spirits of their ancestors carved into its bark, Nancy stood alone. No lawyer, no witness, no kindness. Only accusing fingers and frowning faces. They spoke of old grudges and invented motives. Her tears were seen as guilt. Her silence as confession. They demanded proof of her innocence, but even the spirits seemed to have gone silent that day. Then the unthinkable happened. By the council's cruel decree, they shaved her head clean, each scrape of the blade a wound deeper than any knife. The hair that once danced in the wind was gone, and with it, her dignity. They dragged her through the village, her scalp burning under the merciless sun. Children threw stones, women spat insults, and men jeered. Nancy's heart broke into 1,000 sharp pieces, but she kept her head bowed low. She no longer belonged among the living, they said. She was forced to live in a tiny abandoned hut at the edge of the forest, far from the village, like a cursed creature. Hunger gnawed at her belly, and loneliness dug claws into her spirit. Still, in the silence of the night, Nancy whispered prayers to the unseen gods. Deep in her soul, a fragile ember of hope refused to die. It took months, but truth has a way of clawing its way to light. An old hunter, sick and dying, confessed to the village priest. He had witnessed John collapse alone under the mango tree, struck by a heart attack, not poison or violence. He had seen it, but out of fear of being blamed for not helping, he had kept silent. His guilt ate him alive until he could no longer bear it. When the priest told the elders, shame swept over the village like a dark storm. The villagers, now clothed in guilt and regret, came crawling to Nancy's broken hut. They brought gifts of yam, cloth, and coins. They wept and begged for forgiveness. But Nancy, standing under the grey sky with her bald head gleaming like a crown of survival, looked at them with eyes emptied of all trust. She said nothing. Forgiveness, she knew, was divine, but forgetting was humanly impossible. She gathered the cloth they offered and wrapped it around herself, not as a gift from them, but as a symbol that she was still standing. With the little they gave and the strength she still carried, Nancy left the village. She walked for days until she reached a neighboring town. There, among strangers, she rebuilt her life brick by brick. She sold firewood and handmade soap. Slowly, her hair grew back, thicker and more beautiful than ever. She became known as Nancy the Unbroken, a woman of great wisdom and fierce resilience. Tales of her courage traveled far, reaching even the ears of those who once cursed her. And Nancy, now sitting in her small but strong house, would sometimes smile at the setting sun, knowing that not even the sharpest blade could cut away her destiny. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If you believe in the power of true stories and the lessons they carry, don't forget to subscribe. There are many more African tales waiting for you, right here. Until next time, keep the fire of wisdom burning.